Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Connor, back in the studio.
Hello.
He was out last week.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, we had Silas filled in for you on the banter.
Oh,
we went
nice.
over some conspiracy theories.
Oh, seriously?
Well, we decided intentionally because you weren't there so we could talk about the pyramids and not have to worry about you going into the pyramids.
Oh,
we didn't even talk about.
If I was there,
we didn't.
If I was there, we would have been talking about conspiracy facts.
Exactly.
And we also
I'm gonna bring them up this week anyway.
We also ended up playing the Flex Start on Saturday. Trevor, Silas, and I. And you know what, Connor? You missed a good time, but you also didn't because it
was absurd. You would have. It could have been a frustrating day out there.
Yeah,
because
I don't think I would have gotten frustrated just because it would have been doomed from the start, right?
Well, when we showed up, it was sunny.
Well, you know what the fun.
But it was still 40
the wind
and
was
windy.
like the wind was gusting. Like
I've never played a wind like that. It was worse than when I played in Kansas.
Literally, you were throwing. My shot on hole 2 at Falling Creek, I threw my most stable distance driver on a hyzer flip line, and it rolled into the ground 100 feet in front of me.
Oh my gosh!
But with that being said, the wind being that strong presented a very unique opportunity for putting challenged people like Hunter and myself, and we actually both cashed.
Yeah,
I came in 4th, and then Hunter came in 5th. Yeah,
all I had to do was just lay up everything.
That's awesome.
Because people who could putt were trying to run stuff, and it was a bad idea.
I really had every opportunity to win, but then I got to the point where it got a little too close to me winning to where I got a little nervous.
Even your layups felt really shaky.
Yeah. Well, that was how it started. I messed up a layup on hole 15 or 16.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 15.
15. And then, I think I parred out from there, but it was a good time though.
We did record it for Patreon. So that'll be this month's Patreon
You're
video.
not going to want to miss it.
It'll probably be coming out today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's going to be
Trevor
very
said,
raw and you're going to feel like you were there with us.
Very entertaining. And yeah, we're probably not going to do commentary or anything. So you'll hear the wind. You'll be able to feel like you're there.
Yeah.
It's something. And
So
Silas played.
so much fun.
So
Silas played, and he came in last.
Go to the Hyzer
But,
Club. It was valiant in the open division.
Yes. Sorry.
Go to the Hyzer Club and check
it was
out.
a very, very entertaining tournament. So yeah, you'll have to check that out. Patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf.
I think we've discovered our niche though is we just need to play flex starts.
Yeah, flex starts, total vibe because you get to pick your card.
Yeah, because you can go that's the thing.
Because Trevor and I walked into hole 18, I was like, I think I'm back to tournaments. This was incredible. And then Trevor, we both were like,
it's the vibe of the card.
It was
right.
the card.
Yeah.
Because we were able to laugh about it because we know we're not going to offend each other.
No part of it felt like
we don't have to
playing
take it seriously. Yeah.
And that's what made a good tournament.
Yeah, you're not showing up, having a players meeting, and you just show up and it's like you're playing a normal round of disc golf. It felt like a weekly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you get a rating and you get to cash potentially. So I think we just need to. I don't know how many flex starts are in this area. Maybe we need to start.
We start them.
But can we TD a flex start and play?
No, we got to find another TD.
So we just need to find somebody that.
Now you might be able to. It'd be kind of hard to because you're out there on the course. If we're the
last tee time, that's all you have to do.
If you're at the last tee time and just left a sign at the start, be like, hey, we're playing. If you have a rules question, just text me.
well, because the TD was gone by the time we.
No,
got
he was
in
in his car.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you like?
But you didn't really have to check in with them because live scoring, you send it.
Yeah.
It's more just if you have questions about whether
flex
you're
starts
OB
are
or
so
whatever.
low key though. All we have to do is find somebody that's willing. We'll just make Liz the TD.
We just need to have someone. What you need to do is we play early. We play in the morning, and we have someone sit there for the 2 hours we're playing. So then but then you have to sit there the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need someone else to run them. We need someone else to run them. So we just show up and play.
Yeah. Flex starts are the key.
Flex starts are fun. That was great. I'm gonna just start looking for flex starts everywhere.
Yeah. Let's try it. Let's find every flex start on the schedule for Virginia, and we'll find them.
And we'll play them.
There's none probably.
Yeah, probably nothing. The other tournament, a little smaller event that happened was called Texas States. Also a flex start.
I guess that was a big deal, but whatever.
No, Texas States went down, Pro Tour event.
I'm going to need you guys to catch me up on what happened. You guys have an opportunity here to just lie to me.
I'm going to tell you.
I did not see a single disc golf thing this
I'm going to tell
weekend.
you nothing but the truth. So we'll go with results first, and I'll go over the storylines.
I'm putting my trust in you.
You can this week.
I don't think we have enough creative energy right now to lie.
Ricky Wysocki took it down over Calvin Heimberg.
Big Rick.
Connor, you're going to think I'm lying with this next part. I'm not. Greg Barsby came in third.
Dang, dude. Greg Barsby way too much heat on this podcast.
No,
man.
Greg Barsby actually designed the course and played phenomenal.
That's a good point.
And his putt was is Greg Barsby's putt. Like he
whenever his putt is
back.
on, it's on.
It was
it was on until like the last three holes.
Yeah. Well, he got to where like he had a shot at the win somewhat.
He went clank,
he
clank,
got
clank.
like within like a few strokes and then just settled into third place. But he was playing great. It was just funny because we haven't heard his name in so long.
Yeah.
For him to come in top 3.
I didn't realize that he had moved to Tyler, Texas. So like when I heard that he designed that course, I was very confused. I was like, why did Greg Barsby design this course? But I guess he lives there now.
He left California.
I
moved
think
to Tyler,
it's
Texas.
so funny that all the disc golfers like they're moving to disc golf meccas basically. Like there's so many moving to Charlotte, and like Tyler, Texas is obviously like a disc golf mecca. The thing about the Texas area, from what we've experienced being down there, is like, I think obviously there's so many awesome courses down there. The problem is like, depending on where you live, you're going to end up driving considerably to a good bit of them.
Everything in Dallas was 45 minutes apart.
Everything.
So like, if you're living in Tyler, you're like an hour 40 outside Dallas. If you live like 30 minutes away from the course closer to Dallas, you're like an hour and 10 outside Dallas. In that area, like that's nothing.
We've got like 4 or 5 courses within like a 25-minute drive here. A couple within like 15 minutes. And then you go out to an hour. Now we've got even more. Like,
yeah, if you use the same range, we
probably
have the same amount of courses in this area. It's just that when you tell a Virginian you're driving an hour to a course, it's like, it's a day trip.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know if I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I know. Like my like commute to a disc golf course is usually 15 minutes.
Yeah, if I have to go past like 25 minutes, I'm like Falling Creek,
That's
I don't really want to go.
That's right on the edge.
I don't really want to. Yeah, I don't want to go play just a casual fun round at Falling Creek, and that's only 30 minutes away.
Well, luckily we have New London now, and that's pretty close. That's a little.
That's like 15.
Yeah. But then, but typically it's like, ooh, do I just want to go play Lynchburg College real quick?
Or Peaksview, 10 minutes away.
Yeah, super close.
Yeah. On the FPO side, we had Paige Pierce winning. Kristen
Who said that about her getting out of the slump? Who was that? On your Twitter? Somebody predicted it. Like you said that like somebody had messaged you that they're predicting that she gets out of the slump.
I have no idea.
Well, shout out to
I
them.
did say in my Twitter. I did say.
I was gonna say predicting that Paige Pierce.
Purdue. I was like, what?
I was saying that predicting that Paige Pierce does well isn't really that much of a hot take, though.
Well, I mean, this year it's like a little. Like, I mean, saying she could. You could say
she came in 6th and then 2nd this year. This is her 3rd event and she won it.
I mean, coming in. Okay, the thing is, when you say she came in 6th, you have to remember that it's FPO, and that is bad for Paige Pierce.
Yes,
very bad.
Sure, but then she came in 2nd.
Yeah, I still say it was a slump.
Yeah, I think it was the beginning of one. I even said it in my preview article. I said if she lost bad at this tournament, then she's not having the start she wanted. But no, she's fine.
And her win, the fashion she did it in, is what matters the most.
I do think it's funny that it took
that's
like
why it matters.
It took like one tournament of her like being completely out of it for me to be like, all right, I'm not choosing Paige Pierce the rest of the year.
Well, it's because last year, like, she had stretches like this. The thing about Paige is she did almost lose it, but it's not like she was just like the wheels fell off the whole rest of the tournament and she just hung on. She got caught on the leaderboard and then finished out strong.
Yeah.
So she because I texted the group chat. I was like, there's no way she's regaining her composure. Like she's toast. She's got 2 good players right on her heels now. Now she was fortunate that those 2 players did kind of blow up very quickly after, but she finished out strong and she regained her composure and she won. So Paige is back in my good graces.
I think it's because we're just so used to her being dominant that whenever she's not, it seems like she's falling off.
Yeah, and it's mostly weird. I think the rest of the field has just gotten better, but I think we've just been under. I don't know. I think I still think she's capable of even more with her game. I think she's capable of even more. I think she's not playing at the peak of her ability still. So. We'll see.
Now, on MPO, one of the bigger storylines, I think, for the whole tournament was Paul Macbeth came out 12 under par, round 1, hot round for the entire event. Going into the event, many people were saying not possible. We actually had people texting us saying like, y'all are crazy. Double digits isn't going to happen. 32 under par is impossible.
Man,
One of the pros, I won't call them out, but through Brody told us this is the hardest course to score on, they thought, going into the tournament. They were making us question everything about saying 32 under was going to win, and then 29 under won.
Isn't it crazy how double digits, like right on double digits was hot, and almost 30
we
under ended
said
up winning?
round one, we said we
Man.
expected like close to 13 under to be hot.
Here's
and
the thing.
people told us that's literally impossible, and then Paul shot 12
If
under round one.
we have never played the course before, like we have no reason to believe that we're going to be super accurate.
No, but we had
went
played.
and played there in the gusting wind, and we know how much we suck.
Yeah. That was the thing is we're very realistic with our skill level. And so when I saw the course and I saw where my drives were landing, and I was like, dude, if I personally had an extra 100 feet, I think I could get up and down. Mm-hmm. Which means that in my head, I was going into it like every hole out there was birdieable. And that is true. Every hole was birdieable. So Ricky won at 29 under, but Paul came out 12 under par. But the good thing about this course, and what I loved about the course design, was it required you to stay on top of your game. You had to be throwing the disc well to score, because just like every hole was birdieable, if you watched us play there, you know by yours truly, every hole was bogeyable as well.
Plenty of bad places.
And there's plenty of spots where if you land there was not a lot of huge blow up potential, but there was enough like bad spots that you're not getting up and down for par potential.
Right. And like a bad shot is you're never getting a birdie. That's the thing.
So then Paul went 12 under, and I was trying to think through, I don't know, this isn't something that typically happens with Paul. He was able to stay in the top 10 solely because of how good his first round was. Yeah. Because he went even par round 2, 12 strokes worse, and then 3 under round 3. So he finished at 15 under, but after one round, he was at 12 under par.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened round 2 and 3.
It seemed like he just, looking at the statistics, it's just as simple as he couldn't throw.
Yeah, but like that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, I don't know what physically happened between round 1 and 2.
I mean, golf is weird. Like something weird can sneak up on you. Like you can just be on one time, like one moment, the next moment you kind of just like develop some little miss, and it just haunts you all day, and it can build up. He played well. I will say he finished the event strong. He played the back 9 of his last round well. So I think he has at least that to build off of. It's one of those things. Like after that first round, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was literally just like, I think I was like in the shower thinking to myself, like, is Paul McBeth about to just like have the most dominant season yet? Like, is he about, like, cause like he just seemed like,
he seemed untouchable.
He seemed a bit untouchable. Yeah. I was like, he might just end up winning like 6 times, 7 times this year. But it's the game of golf, and like things like this are going to happen. I don't think there's any like overreaction that needs to happen.
It was just surprising to see what happened round 2 and 3.
I agree though. I was definitely shocked when I was like, because you just expected him to carry that momentum at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Playing with the hot round though, it can be daunting.
Yeah. Now Calvin also played extremely well all weekend. He ended up losing by 1 stroke to Ricky. It was pretty exciting going into the final hole, really the final stretch. Yeah. Once you got to hole 14, they matched themselves all the way out. Ricky, it looks like, took the official lead on 13, and then 14 on, they matched themselves going par, birdie, birdie, par, birdie. So we can't downplay the play of Calvin or Rick, because Rick went 8 down, 11 down, 10 down. Calvin went 10 down, 11 down, 7 down. So they both were able to shoot an 11 under par, one off of Paul. And Calvin was able to shoot the 11 under, I believe. Actually, let me pull up the stat. I believe it was like 2 bogeys. So 11 under with 2 bogeys round 2. Yeah. And then round 3, Rick was able to get to double digits again. And he put some pressure on Calvin early. Again, eventually cracked him, on the beginning of the back 9, and then never looked back after that.
Yeah, Ricky's figured it out. It kind of was in the air, like he was, figuring out the back with the old discs and pulling it together, and he's back. I mean, he looked like his old self.
He looked great.
And he's still undefeated when he plays Texas State.
6 for 6.
That's pretty. Wow. It's pretty insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is a very impressive track record.
I wasn't like, when I watched the FPO here and there on the final day, and then the MPO I had on, but it was also all basketball was on, so I was like jumping back and forth between the two. So I came back when they were on hole 18. And so I'm trying to remember why, but I wasn't paying I knew like where the scores were at, but I didn't notice it until y'all were texting about it later last night. Because when Ricky was standing over his putt on 18, Liz was sitting next to me, and she goes, so did Rick win? And I was like, yeah, he could even miss this, is what I said. I was like, this isn't an important putt. No. And then he hit it, and like the way he celebrated, I was like, that looks like an important putt. And I was like, why did I think that? I was like, what? I'm stupid. But then y'all were talking about like the buildup of the hole, and I think what it was like, I was self-consciously just watching, but I wasn't paying attention to the score.
They never really set the scene.
Yeah, and it didn't feel. So that's why I think the putt, Ricky line up that putt just didn't feel important to me. And then he hit it, and I was like, why is he celebrating so much? Like I thought he was gonna lay up. Yeah. And then I looked at the scores after. I was like, oh no, he had to hit that putt.
You think they just didn't really build the tension well?
I don't know. I wasn't like analyzing. I was just watching. Like I was basically like just sitting on the couch, letting my mind wander. And then I just like
I watched the entire last stretch of the event, and here's what there's a lot to say about the commentary.
We're not gonna say anything about it because
I know I'm not gonna go.
No, because
I'm not gonna go into
it. We could
it.
spend the whole hour.
Yeah.
Both of my Twitter Spaces, people were bringing up commentary and then bringing up point after point after point as to why it's bad.
Sucked. We all know it's bad.
And so
we don't need to talk about the other
anymore.
Commentary team much better. This team.
Here's my take on the commentary. It was Ian and Philo. Philo did
with Terry in the field.
Philo did a decent job. I think Philo with the right person's great, and I think I know who the right person is. Charlie Eisenhood from Multiworld.
Maybe
at Belton, I really liked his commentary live round at Belton. Maybe. I really liked it.
Here's what the problem with Ian and Philo, and I think Philo could be usable with the right person, but those two together are both such relaxed personalities that the commentary feels like a casual conversation. It's very like laid back, and some people might like that, and it's okay to have that at times. But what happened was you get to hole 18. They're walking up to the tee, and throughout that entire hole, you did not feel any tension in the air. I swear he stepped up to that last putt, and like I felt the same way. Even though I was paying attention, I was like, "This is like the putt for the win." And I didn't hear anything. You want to hear like the commentator go, "And here it is, just inside 30 feet. Ricky Wysocki has this putt for the win." Like that's commentary 101, and like you just never really felt it. And like he makes that putt, and you have a chance to like make a statement like you should, like as a commentator, like there's a reason why the great commentators have these like iconic statements that they say after like somebody makes a putt for the win. It's because they've already planned it in their mind. You're already thinking, okay, if Ricky wins and he makes a putt on 18, what am I going to say? What's going to be my coined term that I'm going to say? Like it could just be as simple as, and he goes, and Ricky is 6 for 6 in Texas, like just something like that. But like it's your job to like make that moment more special than just what happened on the screen. And it just wasn't happening, and that's really I'm just not feeling that commentary team. It's just what it comes down to.
Yeah. But anyway, so Rick clutched up though on hole 18.
Feel free to use the comments section as your commentary rant section.
That was a good synopsis.
Yeah, we're not going to go because like obviously most of the issues were the same issues as before with like, the disc naming and whatnot.
I don't want this podcast to just be commentary.
I mean,
like,
I saw Paige throw
a commentary on commentary.
I saw Paige throw a Zeus that I'm pretty sure was a mid at one point.
Yeah.
So,
well, my thing is like I don't think I could do any better. Either.
No. But you also weren't hired to do live commentary.
No, I can point out like why I don't like it, but I don't want people to be like, "Oh, well, then you do it then, Hunter." And I'll be like, "No, I would suck just as bad."
Yeah,
you put me in that booth.
It's a hard job.
It's a hard job, and Ian Anderson is great. Central Coast, the like fun.
He works with the Central
Champs
Coast
versus
vibe,
Chump,
yeah.
like that whole. That's his channel. It makes sense. Ian Anderson, perfect there. He's done so much for the sport.
There's just a reason.
Live commentary, we haven't found the person.
There is just a reason
Terry
that
Miller
people,
is pretty good.
I think Terry's good.
I think Terry's good. I think Charlie Eisenhood's good. I think Philo with the right people is good, and Nate Sexton is the best of them all.
Terry with Nate as color is as good as it gets, I think.
Nate Sexton.
Yeah. I think there's a reason that people go to school for broadcasting because like it is a skill.
Yes, and it's a developed skill.
Move on.
So other storylines though, we talked about Ricky. We talked about Calvin. We obviously got to briefly talk about Greg Barsby. 9 under final round, second round 7 under, first round I think he ever got doubled. No, 9 under. So he had 2 9-unders, 1 7 under. Just solid play all around. He did qualify for USDGC with that. That's something we haven't really tracked a ton this year.
That's awesome.
Emerson Keith, John Willis. That's a local guy, I'm pretty sure. to Tyler, Texas, and GT Hancock. They all qualified as well.
I'm glad to see Emerson's name up there. I think the last 2 events he's finished pretty well.
He slid up there.
So that's good for
him.
him.
And that's the thing too, is you're seeing a lot of like similar names. Like the best players in the world are still in that top mix. But like, let me just read the top 15.
It's a dice roll.
Top 15, Nicholas Antia. This is his first tournament over.
Yeah, where did the other guy, the other Estonian, finish?
What's his name?
Oh,
Gotta give it to me.
You'll see it. Just keep scrolling.
Oh, Vino?
Vino.
He finished 45th.
Okay.
6
okay.
under for the
I was
tournament.
curious to see what he did.
Anyways, I'm going to read this top 15. There's a few people tied for 15th, but Nicholas, Alex Russell, Corey Ellis, Connor O'Reilly, Matty O, Casey White, which that's Connor's dark horse pick. Good job, Connor.
Thank you.
Nico LaCastro, GT Hancock, John Willis, Emerson Keith, Chris Dickerson, Paul Macbeth, Gannon Burr, Jeremy Coling, James Conrad, Joel Freeman, Greg Barsby, Calvin Heimberg, Ricky. Basically, every tournament, there seems to be a handful of guys that are able to sneak into that top 15 now.
Yeah.
So it's like the top of the event. Like there's still like a few guys, but we do have 3 different winners at 3 different Pro Tours. But there's still like the Calvin, Ricky, Paul. Someone's going to be in the mix. One of those players is going to be in the mix. But beyond that, it's like a dice roll. Like who would have predicted that the lead card, the top 4 players, when this is all said and done, would have been Ricky, Calvin, Greg Barsby, and Joel Freeman. That's a tough. It's so hard to predict this nowadays.
Yeah.
On the FPO side, though, Paige Pierce came out. I believe it was her first round. She made the statement with her play.
Was it the first or the second?
9 under.
The second one was the second one even better?
I don't think so.
No, it was just the first one.
9 under. She had a 4-stroke lead after day 1.
Yeah.
Round 2 kept her the same lead. She shot a 4 under. Kristen also shot a 4 under, so she didn't make up any ground. She still had a 4-stroke lead coming into the final day. Ended up winning by 4, but that doesn't really tell the story because it's on hole 18. Paige birdied and Kristen double bogeyed, so three strokes there.
Yeah.
And Kat was also kind of in it, but she bogeyed to Paige's birdie.
Yeah, there was a choppy section there for Paige where everybody got back into it. Kat and Kristen were right there on the doorstep.
Yeah, she took a double bogey on 5.
Yeah, and then
a bogey on 7. So she lost between those 2 holes. She lost 4 strokes to Kristen.
Yeah, and then kind of down the stretch, she got back to it. And,
she did what she had to do.
Yeah, and pulled through it, and it was really impressive. I mean, she finished with 4 straight birdies. That's how you close out a tournament. Right
and
there.
hole 17, she birdied, but she still lost a stroke to Kristen and Kat. Kat hit like a 40-footer for eagle, and then Kristen was parked for eagle.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like right there already, like you make your birdie, you think you're going to have 2 strokes going into the final hole, and then Kristen makes an eagle, and now all of a sudden, like, oh, I've got to play this really hard hole 18 with only 1 stroke advantage.
But unfortunately, Kristen had the tee, and
that definitely took some pressure off.
Threw an awful shot.
Yeah.
No way around it. I mean, she threw it a high nose-up hyzer that hit a light pole and went OB, and then Kat just swung it way too wide.
That tee
never
shot
came back.
That tee shot was very nervy. That entire hole was very nervy. It was a pretty good hole 18 because even with the MPO, it obviously came down to hole 18 as well. Same situation. Leader had 1 stroke, and like Ricky had to throw 2 good shots, and he did just that.
Yeah, I really liked hole 18. I wish the hill did provide a little bit of luck factor. The hill they were throwing onto a little bit, but luckily we didn't see it matter at like the top.
Yeah.
Like luckily it didn't cost someone
that
the tournament.
That would have been a bummer, yeah.
Because that would have sucked because like we did see the chase card. I can't remember if it was chase for FPO. It was Missy Gannon, I think. It was chase for FPO. Threw what looked to be a really good shot, but her disc just didn't correctly match the angle, so it was like a 50-50 of is that going to stick or not, and it rolled OB. And I was like, that would suck if that was the leader.
The one thing that would have made the hole more difficult that they could have done was to make it so you couldn't throw out over the baseball field.
Yeah, that approach shot.
People were just basically cutting it in half by throwing that sidearm. And I was like, that kind of defeats the purpose of the hole.
But you do have to go over OB. I mean, realistically, you're not going to mess up because there's so much distance. But
yeah, it's a chip forehand. So, like, I would have liked to see people have to go around the other side. But I will say, when Ricky lined up that forehand to approach the green, it literally looked like exactly like the forehand that he donked in 2014 Worlds, like with the tree in front of him. I was like, if he hits this tree in front of him, I'm going to have the best tweet of all time. Like, he did it. Kudos.
If we look at... Oh, this must... What? They don't have the Throw Pink Women's actually on right now, qualifying, but it should be Valerie Mandahano and Kristen Tatar. Should have got the spots. I don't know how many spots, but Valerie Mandahano was able to come in 4th. She wasn't really in the tournament. She lost by 9 strokes, but was able to stay in 4th place. So she continues her overall good play.
Did
through Texas State's.
FPO? How was their format different than MPO?
Some shorter tees on
Shorter
field.
tees, okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't notice. I don't know if I noticed shorter tees out there when we were there.
They might not have been. I'm not sure. So for points, if you haven't keeping up, we've been keeping points for our predictions throughout the entire year. Konner he's currently in the lead coming into it. He had 1 point for MPO, 5 points for his FPO predictions. You got your entire top 3, and you got Kristen in the right spot.
Boom.
And with Casey White, you got your dark horse bonus as well.
He snuck out of that top 50 this week because he was in the top 50 last week.
And then
so
now he's not anymore.
I picked him. He was ripe for the picking.
So that puts you at 21 total points for the season so far. I was in second coming into the week. I got 1 point for MPO as well, only 4 points for FPO, which puts me at 14 total points for the season so far, 7 points behind Konner. And then Trevor was third coming into it. He got 1 point for MPO, 4 points for FPO, which puts Trevor at 11 total points for the year so far.
I want him.
So Connor's got 7 on me and 10 on Trevor.
Boom.
Have we decided what the punishment is?
I can't remember.
I thought.
Chick-fil-A.
Is that what it was?
It was just a meal at Chick-fil-A?
I love Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna buy the most. I'm gonna get the most extravagant meal.
The
How do
loser
you
buys
say
it
that
for the
word?
winner, and the middle person gets nothing.
Extravagant.
I think it was the other two split. The two last people.
It should definitely be third place buys it for first place, and second place you just don't get.
Second.
You don't win or lose
That's fine too.
because you don't get Chick-fil-A. Also, don't have to pay for Chick-fil-A.
I didn't know we were awarded second place. What if we did it? What if we did it to where second place paid for, like 30% of the meal, and last place paid for 70% of the meal?
All right, that's fine.
That's a funny way to do it. We just break it all down by percentage. I'm not worried about the points because I know that there are literally weeks where somebody can go perfect on at least like FPO. I think there's a better chance, but I will get worried once I'm down by like 30. But
so next,
being down 10 is no big deal.
The next one we'll do is the major Champions Cup.
Majors
are double points. So if you get someone in the top
off,
3
though.
correct, you get 2 points. If you pick them in the right spot in the top 3, you get
safe.
6 points. Dark horse bonus 4 points.
I'm sad that we have two.
We have 2 Silver Series
weeks.
off weeks.
They're kind of off weeks because they're still Silver Series are a big deal.
My plan has been I'll go with for MPO I'll go with 2 solid picks. Actually for both of them I'm really kind of been going 2 solid picks.
Just throwing it.
And then one that very well could happen. Which I don't know why, because the weirder the pick doesn't get you more points.
No, I picked Joel Freeman.
I'm always picking a solid top 3.
I picked Joel Freeman, and my guy came in 4th. I picked him in my top 3.
Well, I picked. I think I had. Yeah, I had
three.
Emerson Keith in there.
And he came in 8th.
Yeah,
So we both picked players that did good, but that doesn't help us.
He had done well at Texas State in the past, which is why I picked him.
In theory, the best way to pick is to just continually pick the best 3
But
players.
that's too boring.
It is.
It's too boring.
I think that's why I try to throw in a weirdo because.
Well, here's the thing, though. I've done that, and I'm losing. So
I think,
take
that's
that
also
statistics.
true. That's also true. The other talking point from this past weekend is Eagle McMahon actually played an event. He played a C tier 1 round in Wyoming, the Wyoming Hall of Fame Championship, and he won by 5 strokes.
Wow.
Good for him, man.
Did
He's
he
supposed
have
to
fun?
get.
Does it say on there whether or not he had fun?
I would
I
imagine
think
he had
was
fun.
supposed to get his MRI this past weekend, wasn't he?
I don't know. I don't know when he's supposed to get his
Maybe it's
MRI.
this week.
But at some point soon, he's supposed to get his MRI to see if he has a torn labrum. But I mean,
It's just not the same without him out there.
No, he played good.
That's gonna be a bummer. I don't like not having a complete tour. It's the worst. We got some of the international players back. We need Eagle back.
I agree.
We need the full
I agree.
tour.
It's a lot more.
He
fun
adds
having
some
him
real
on
spice to it, you know.
there. Yeah. Spicy. He was a
Final
spicy
thing
boy.
about Texas State is I'm hoping that now that the tournament's over, people are like, okay, I liked that change for the course. Because going into it, people were like, oh, it's going to be a boring Heiser Fest.
No, it wasn't.
Definitely wasn't.
How many
Heisers
Heisers did you see?
How many?
13? I actually have no idea. But with that being said, it's time for the fan favorite segment, Trevor's Trivia. I was talking fast.
Belly laugh.
I was talking fast and my words started to slur together. I was like, you know what? I'm rolling with it.
You played that off really well.
All right.
That made me laugh really hard.
I need my coffee, man.
So we played
Yeah, where's our coffee man?
Coffee man. Hey, Silas.
We played a game.
He's not in here.
We played a game.
You can laugh, dude. You can laugh. It's okay.
We played a game called How Many Rocks a while ago. All right, you guys need to like take a minute to settle down.
No, dude, I'm having a good time.
I'm great. How many rocks?
Where it was like how many rocks
Yes,
are in
I
different
remember.
places.
That was a fun game.
Yes, that was a great.
That was a
that
fun
a
game.
great
Today
game.
we're playing the ever popular sequel, How Many Buzzes.
Oh.
Oh.
So it's gonna be tougher.
Oh.
This one you're gonna have to use your. You're gonna have to.
All the shorties in the club.
You're gonna have to use your own intuition more so.
Can I use
than
my mother's?
Knowing. Okay. Gosh. More so than like knowing how many are in their bag. Because like how many discraft in the bags do you know? Not that.
All
many.
of them.
So I've got 5 players.
Nate Doss is one of them. He's the first one. Go ahead, Hunter.
I'll start with the one that you might have a better idea. You might have a better idea of this one. I took in the bags the most recent I can find, or in this case, this is just the last I know of. And for the first player is Brody Smith, and this is the last that I've seen his bag.
I mean, Brody changes his bag.
Yeah,
literally
he'll
every
probably
day.
text me and be like, "That's not even close. I never had that many in my bag."
Can you
But-
tell us when it was that, like, when this in the bag was, or when you checked?
Well, the last time he was here.
Last time he was here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's when I would.
Oh, you looked in his bag. So this isn't even public information. Like, this isn't even in the bag.
last time we played together.
But this isn't even like an in the bag.
No.
Oh, gosh.
But like if you play with him, you kind of know like what buzzes he carries.
I'm gonna say, is it my go or your go?
You can go.
I'm gonna say 3.
Dang it, I was gonna say 3. I'll make it.
Hey, you can say
interesting.
3.
No, I'll make it interesting. I'll say 2.
3.
Heck
Dang
yeah.
it, I shouldn't have made it interesting.
As far as I
It
know,
wasn't
he had
interesting.
that new stable dyed one, and then he had 2 other ones. Like
So
a
you don't
straight
even
flippy.
know.
So that could be completely wrong.
No, that was the last time I played with him.
You said as far as I know.
All right, next one. It's just a number guessing game. I'm just making up numbers. The next player is Paige Pierce.
You go first.
Paige Pierce. I feel like she does like to throw them buzzes. I'm going to go with 2.
Dang it. That's what I was thinking. I'll go 3.
It is 3.
Heck yeah.
Carter, you suck at this game.
I suck at this game.
Next,
I was going to go 2.
Buzzes.
That seemed right.
next we have Adam Hammes.
It's my turn.
Adam Hammes.
It's my turn.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say 1 because he throws a wasp.
Poopy. I'm going to go 2.
It is 3.
Oh, dang. So I got 2 points. Konner. How do we do this game? How's scoring work? How does scoring work?
You don't want to be off by a bunch. So like
So
he's
I'm at-
off 2, you're off 1.
I'm off
you're in the
2.
lead by 1.
I'm off 2.
Oh, right, because that guess.
And he's off 3.
Yeah.
All right. Still close. He is a Wasp boy, though, so we both got that.
We have Scott Withers.
You're first. Best of luck.
3.
4.
2. Yeah! It's all tied up. 1 to go. Game design.
Gosh darn it.
Game design.
Who carries 4 buzzes, Hunter? Think.
Nobody.
No
man.
one.
They're useless.
What would be the point?
All right.
There's not.
This is it.
They're
This
so
is
much
it.
worse than rocks.
Ezra
They just
Aderhold.
all fly the same.
I don't mean
Ezra-
that. I'm just mean.
Ezra Aderhold.
I'm just
in a
mean.
bad mood.
I don't mean that. I'm just
Ezra
mean.
Aderhold. Is it my turn?
You're darn tootin' tutor.
He carries 38 discs.
Does he?
I think he actually carries 35. So, I mean, surely 10% of those are buzzes. So I'm going to go 3.
I want to say 3, but
But we're tied, so
I
guarantee
mix
we-
it up. Well, he chose the right answer already. It's not fair. All right. Here
I
we
feel
go.
like Ezra doesn't throw many buzzes, actually.
Yeah, but I feel like 2 is too little.
Especially
that
when you're
many
carrying
discs?
36 discs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nukes don't take up that much space. So
He does carry 31 nukes.
here we go. Let's get crazy up in here.
That's probably very annoying.
4.
The answer is 1.
Dang it! What does he? What does he throw?
What is his, like, he doesn't throw mids.
Yeah, I just don't think he throws a lot of mids.
Oh,
If you're carrying that many discs in a grip bag that I think he carries, or does he have a Squatch now?
He has Squatch.
But still, like, you have to carry mostly drivers. to
No,
carry that many
those side
discs.
pockets hold some.
But still.
They also did
36 discs, you have a lot of drivers.
They did
well,
a-
that's what. Did you see how good? You guys saw how good he did with the nuke only round. I think that's actually, how he
that might be
plays.
how he plays. Philo did like a full like minute and a half Squatch ad read that I don't think was supposed to be an ad read in the middle of the commentary. I think he's on their team, and Ian was like, "Man, a lot of people are carrying those Squatch bags," and then Philo just went on about it forever.
They're both taking side hustle checks, dude. You got Ian going, and you want to talk about free advertising. Now this one's a little different because Bushnell partners with the Pro Tour, but you got Ian going, and there's Kona shooting it on her Bushnell Edge rangefinder, like the whole name in there. I was like, what did that just add to me as a viewer? And like, is Bushnell paying you to name that? Maybe. And in that case, you're fine. But I was just like, what I'm gonna say heck?
No, I can't say what I was about to say.
You just
Not
never
the time, ma'am.
Say it.
No.
Do it.
Do it. We did have a Wall Street Journal. No. We did have a Wall Street Journal. I don't know if you heard of them.
Yeah, you ever heard of Wall Street?
They're this little. It's this little.
Give me all your money.
It's this this little niche hipster spot in.
That's a really cool
in New York.
Banner
Silicon Valley.
It's the Silicon Valley of Ohio.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
No, so the Wall Street Journal wrote. It's titled "America's Business Challenge can be told in 2 words: disc golf." Niche sport that got a big boost during the pandemic now struggles with success, and they put a quote: "It's been a nightmare." I read this whole article. Fascinating read.
A nightmare?
Every night.
A fascinating read.
This is how I felt when I was trying to get into the trivia segment.
Me?
And you guys were just like,
I feel great right
off.
now. I feel great. Duke's in the Final Four. Most famous shot. I'm not reading the article, Hunter. I'm gonna go over points.
I started reading
it. I just started reading it. So basically,
how far could you have gotten into it before we realized?
I don't know. You want me to read it in my own voice and find out?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Just start a thing.
So basically, it starts off talking about MVP, the holy shot, all of that, and then this is the MVP's marketing manager. His take on it. He said, so he made the shot, and all of us were like, "Yay!" And then we're screwed. Essentially,
it's because
Steve
Holloway shout out.
Essentially, it's
how much
because
is he paying you to say that?
Yeah, honestly,
$1 million, all in envies. Soft neutron.
So they said inventories hovered at historic lows for months for disc makers, thanks to more than doubling the number of discs sold since the pandemic began. Disc golf is played with angular. You don't need to hear that part. Talking about it's describing how frisbees.
I want to hear.
Okay, disc golf's played with angular and dense discs. That
I actually
differ.
do like hearing. I do like hearing how people who are have done research into disc golf describe things in disc golf.
I'm sorry, but the word angular would never help me understand.
Angular and
word.
dense discs that differ from the soft and rounded frisbees or catch discs often seen at the park.
Now.
More streamlined, more sharp edged.
So this is the first.
Thanks for explaining that, Trevor.
No, I was trying to think of how I would.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
This was the first.
I wasn't trying to explain that to the camera. They've held discs before.
This was the first fascinating point brought up in the article.
Fascinating point number 1.
Disc golf companies are paying more than $20,000 for shipping containers that formerly cost $5,000 to haul branded metal baskets from China. So essentially, that just shows the shipping cost increase.
Is there a Corolla inside? Go ahead.
What? What?
Like I was assuming, is there a car inside that container? Is that why it's so expensive?
Corolla, I thought beer.
I should have. Well, that's not a beer, but I should have said Camry.
Corolla.
You're thinking Corona.
Corona. I think it's because this whole article is about the pandemic. So when I hear Coro, I immediately go, nah.
Nah.
yeah,
let's try it out. Coro.
Nah.
Oh my gosh, he's crazy.
Now this is a fascinating point.
Number two.
Latest.
What is going on right now?
The latest worry. Why are we laughing about this? This is serious stuff here. The latest worry is the continued availability of crude oil, the key ingredient.
This actually is crazy.
The key ingredient of polyurethane.
There is
what?
Crude oil is the key ingredient in the plastic that they're making these discs out of.
Yeah.
Or as my dad would call it, oil.
Oil.
Crude oil.
Oil.
The war in Ukraine obviously has caused an increase on the cost of crude oil over the concerns of sanctions. Russia's one of the dominant suppliers.
Crazy, dude.
So
I didn't.
Obviously, we've seen
that.
disc costs go up over time.
That's got to be hurting golf ball prices.
We thought it was a supply chain. It is a supply chain, but crude oil is going to cause that to continue to go up.
I did not know that. That's crazy. Yeah. Can I catch a disc on fire then?
Probably.
Oh my god!
It's not that flammable though.
We did. Yeah, we tried. It didn't work.
Flammable.
This part definitely not completely true, but they tried. Average retail cost of a disc has risen roughly $20 to $25 from $10 to $15 according to Infinite Discs.
You can go to Foundation Disc right now and get a disc average price for less than that.
Well, you can go anywhere right now. You can get
hey man,
I'm saying. Fact number.
How much are they paying you to say that?
I signed a lifetime deal worth so much, dude.
It's a potential $1 million deal.
Yeah, this deal could be worth
This deal
$1
could
billion
be worth,
if I lived to like $1 million.
This deal could be worth $5.3 trillion. The average retail cost, though, obviously it's gone up, but it hasn't gone up that much. But this is where MVP's co-founder Chad Richardson said it's been a nightmare, talking about the logistics, and I don't see it ending. Within days of the Holy Shot, the company began production of the commemorative disc at its factory in Michigan.
Coined it the Holy Shot.
Everyone, disc golf. What are you talking about?
We were just calling it the Shot for a while, I feel like.
Well, no, I think it's because James Conrad threw it, and everyone says he's disc golf Jesus. So the Holy Shot.
No, I get why it was coined, but I'm just wondering who did it first.
Little
I don't know.
sacrilege.
Yeah, I mean,
To ensure uniformity, disc golf manufacturers typically only use one mold for each specific type, meaning only one machine can make commemorative Electron NV model at a time in a process that takes about a minute. MVP ran the NV machine 24 hours a day for 3 months, but fell behind demand.
Wow.
Now, this is
that
again...
electricity bill, though.
This is again slightly misleading because the NV, this commemorative NV, most likely you can still find on the shelf at most of your retail stores.
Yeah, it wasn't
Because
demand like from.
It
like
was demand.
players.
It was
Like,
demand from
retailers.
retailers.
Yeah.
It was the first disc in the pandemic that was opened up. Or every retailer, period, order as many as you want, and we'll make it to that demand, which led to most retailers over ordering. So again, it still shows the growth, but gotta take a little of these with a grain of salt because of the inside
They're
knowledge.
just trying to get their clicks, man.
Well,
We would
let's
never
actually
do
just
that.
look. A commemorative
Commemorative.
MV. That's how fast I type.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I can find them all over the place for $13.
$13. That
$20.
sure sounds like cheaper than 20 to 25 Wall Street.
Wow. Wall
But they
Street,
also
more
said
like-
the cost of commemorative discs on online
Small
retail
Street,
yes.
sites rose to more than 50 when fans
Like
couldn't find the
Sesame
disc
Street.
for 20 at retail outlets. Not true.
That's cap.
But anyways, that
does
complete
happen, though.
side
That
point.
does happen with other
happen,
discs.
but not with this
Yeah,
disc.
yeah.
Company eventually sold tens of thousands of the commemorative discs. Thousands or more are still sitting on shelves, though, said Todd Durant, operations manager of Infinite Discs.
There we go. Some
Said,
honesty.
I love this part. It would have been nice when he won to have it a couple weeks later, but when it was right, it was like, oh, okay, the hot moment's over.
The guy from Infinite's a savage.
Well, I mean, honestly, though, that's what everyone was kind of thinking. Like,
Yeah.
by the time the disc came in, it was like, yeah, that was a cool shot that happened 3 months ago.
Imagine if a disc came in and was actually ordered.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
What?
Imagine if it actually, like, we actually ordered the disc.
Oh, yeah, we didn't. We didn't get any.
We ordered like 500 of the regular NVs.
Well, yeah,
They
'cause-
sold out.
yeah, they did. They're
Nice.
gone.
There we
They're
go.
gone. Trevor,
Big business, baby.
I was headed to Wisconsin when the disc dropped,
Bro, I
and
was
Trevor placed the
panicking.
order, trying to order them. And then it wasn't until they about to show up that we realized that Trevor didn't buy a single commemorative envy.
I got the stock ones,
He got
but
the
it
stock
paid
ones,
off,
but it
didn't
paid off great. You know what? Well done. I don't think
Come
I've
on.
told
Good
you that
job,
before.
Trevor.
Well done.
My business subconscious, that business minor that's just floating around in my mind, just did that for me. Just clicked.
It was like, hey,
All
no,
those
no,
guys-
no, no.
Mining for business.
That's right.
That business miner.
Uh,
You get it?
I worked hard.
MVP. Okay, I'm trying to find.
Are we still in this article?
Oh yeah, it keeps going.
Oh,
This
heck
article
yeah.
gets
This article.
crazy.
Well, I mean, the
There is
biggest points were
scandals.
those, but no.
Ooh.
No, give me fascinating fact number 3.
Fascinating fact number 3. I'll pull it out of thin air. MVP has 114 employees with more on the way. If you scroll down far enough, you'll find where they quote Discraft is only having 90 employees.
Now here's an idea.
Wow.
Here's an idea. We get as many people. We just start like we do it as like a Google sign up sheet, and we just hire like 500 people, but we pay them like a penny. We find a way to make that legal.
Now, MVP
And then we can say that we have more employees
Find
than
a way to
anybody
make
else in
that
disc golf.
legal.
How much does that cost us? $5.
We find a way to make that legal.
Now, here's the other thing fascinating. MVP has 114 employees more on the way, up from 20 pre-pandemic.
I think we should.
Before the pandemic, they only had 20
Wow.
employees. They grew by 94.
Wow.
I just wonder how many of those are just like part-time people that run the machines. Because I feel
don't
like
know.
because
That's still an
people,
employee.
companies have been, but people have been adding an entire shift. Like we've heard that
Yeah.
to keep up with the demand.
So before the pandemic,
epic.
MVP grew by taking a share of the industries in a way, kind of like craft beer, took on big beer with experimenting with plastic blends, cultivated a relationship with small dealers, and rolling out new models and novelty disc regularly. The pandemic put a halt on most of those hallmarks as MVP dropped production of all but its best sellers to avoid losing time required to change molds and test new concepts. The brothers used the windfall of cash from selling out of the inventory to buy 15 disc making machines in the past 2 years, up from 2 machines at the start of 2022.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
They ordered 7 machines in the wake of the Holy Shot. MVP produced more discs in 2021 than it did in its previous 11 years combined.
Oh my god,
That's awesome.
That's insane.
Crazy.
The company will have increased production tenfold since early 2020 when the last of its new machines come in April.
I think one of us should go undercover and apply and go work at the MVP factory. And then you can take your like mustache and beard off and be like, "It was me, Hunter Thomas, the whole time." Don't you think that'd be fun?
That'd be so fun. Steve Holloway said, "I've been trying as hard as I can to educate the market because the market's angry, talking about consumers," which is fair because essentially like you went from being able to get any disc you wanted from anywhere you wanted to now like you can't really, which is the point. Like whenever I'm reading through all of this stuff and thinking about the current state of disc golf, I'm just wondering, like, obviously you can't argue how much insane growth we've seen in disc golf. There's no way around that. Disc golf has grown incredibly over the last few years. But I'm also curious, and there's no way to know this until every manufacturer is back at full production, where our true growth is.
Yeah.
Because I do think that there has to be some percentage of the growth is false growth, whether that's like 1% and we're not even going to notice it, or it's 10%. Don't think it's that big.
20%?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's 10%. I think it's less than that. But mainly because I think there's got to be something where people are... you just headbutted your mic. Where people are
fact number 4.
buying more discs because of the... stimulus checks from previous years, but now buying more discs because they don't know when they're going to see them again, if that makes sense. So like if you're a thrower of a niche mold and that gets ran once throughout this whole pandemic and you see it, you might now, instead of buying one, buy 2 or 3. Or people who have been wanting to try one for a long time that might have never bought it before, now buy them and make sure they jump on it. So like, I wonder how much like that it's, again, I think it's a very minute part, but I hope that it's a very minute part because I definitely think it plays a factor, because I'm wondering if like, can one person be buying discs worth what previously would have been 2 or 3 people, and once the manufacturing meets the true demand, are we going to find that manufacturing has surpassed the true demand? Not a bad spot because disc golf's continuing to grow, so we'll eventually reach that demand.
Yeah.
As long as a company doesn't overgrow.
Well, the thing is, the companies that are investing in like the right things, like infrastructure, makes sense. It's the companies that are investing too much in like players that could be more of the issue.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot less of a tangible asset.
Yeah. For decades, disc golf was dwarfed in popularity by Ultimate, originally called Ultimate Frisbee. Soccer, I still call it Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, is it just not called Ultimate Frisbee? You
We dropped Frisbee.
You can't just call a sport Ultimate.
Ultimate. Drop
Like
Frisbee.
you can call it that like by slang, but surely by like definition, it's still Ultimate Frisbee.
As players aged out of Ultimate's physicality, many took up disc golf, contributing to an annual growth in players of roughly 10% in the years 1990 to the 2000s. But the pace of disc golf accelerated in the 2010s thanks to YouTube streams, fan blogs, and the ability of obscure athletes to build a following on social media. Fascinating take from the outside there. Obscure athletes to build a following on social media. Then came the pandemic, obviously, and the PDGA
athletes.
recently reported membership has doubled since 2019.
Just fixed our printer over text message. Fascinating fact number 5.
And then now we get fascinating fact number 6 is coming. So
say it, Trevor.
Buckle up.
Oh, I get to say one?
No. Just say fascinating fact number 6.
Fascinating fact number 6.
Yes. UDisc
This is the best podcast ever.
UDisc has more than 1 million users.
Yeah.
Wow.
And remember, UDisc is now pay. You had to pay to use
UDisc
it.
costs how much, Hunter?
I think it's $15 a year.
That's $15 million if you're doing the math at home.
What do
Just
you
from
mean- What do you mean
subscriptions.
you have to pay? What do you
For
mean
a
you have
pro
to pay?
subscription.
To like really use
To
UDisc,
use
you
it
had to
really
pay.
at all. And
Mine ran out, and it still works.
what can you do
You can't do a
without-
lot. I don't know. You can't do a lot.
I can check live scores.
Yes.
I don't think you can even make.
There's limits on scorecards and stuff like that.
I guess you can just do a basic scorecard, maybe.
But anyways,
let's assume.
Well, this is
that's true. How many paying members do they have?
That doesn't say. That's not the.
important.
But regardless, UDisc has 1 million users, which is 10 times as big as the PDGA.
You're not going to have
So
a
start there.
UDisc account without being an active disc golfer.
True. And so then, fascinating fact number
7.
Yes. The company estimates the sport is at least the size of pickleball,
Get
which
wrecked,
the
pickle.
governing body recently announced it has 4.8 million players.
Ooh.
I think that's a pretty
UDisc
accurate.
estimates there's at least 4.8 million disc golfers out there.
Wow.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Wow.
And then this isn't really that
What do
fascinating.
I want to know like the list of sports and like who do we pass after we pass pickleball? Because like we're gonna pass pickleball. I'm sorry, pickleball.
Well, there was a little cheap shot here.
Are you sorry?
You're just like fake tennis.
Steve Hill says, I don't begrudge pickleball. The Steve Hill, he's the marketing guy for UDisc. He used to be with Old Too Well, and then was with PDGA
Sick
after
him,
that.
Steve.
If you've
Steve.
read, a lot of the articles you've read in disc golf have been written by Steve Hill. Anyways, he says, I don't begrudge pickleball. I just need to find their PR rep. Well, then Wall Street Journal found their PR rep and they responded and said, tell them, I'm sorry, we're just doing our job. Seriously, there's plenty of room for many emerging sports. I thought that was kind of just funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's no
A little
like
back and forth.
there's definitely no like competition
No.
between disc golf and pickleball because they
No.
are two very different things, and
Maybe
one
not
of
to
them,
you guys.
like pickleball, involves like pretty intense movements.
Have you guys not seen my Twitter? I'm just constantly coming after pickleball on there.
Oh,
James Conrad, they listed James Conrad as a 31-year-old former warehouse worker who made the shot. What a fascinating way to describe James Conrad.
how about
That sounds very purposeful.
How about you just call him
That
a
sounds like they're
touring
trying-
disc golf professional, man?
Yeah.
What the heck?
What the heck?
They
dude?
said he described hitting the best shot of his life at the exact
That
moment was
articles like that-
like being in a sports movie.
Articles like that are going to be like what people say with the MJ LeBron. Like 15 years from now, I'd be like, Paul's not the GOAT. He was playing against warehouse workers.
James Conrad, a 31-year-old former warehouse worker.
Yeah, like that's what they're going to do to us.
That's so
Why is
funny.
that?
That's on the internet
such a
forever.
mean way
Like
to
that's
say
not.
it.
When did he work at a warehouse? Was he in
could've
high
worked there
school?
when he was- I mean, he might have been in. I mean, who knows how long before he was like fully touring
Just be
disc
clear,
golf.
this isn't against warehouse workers.
No, it's just a
why
funny
do
way
they
to
describe it
describe
like that.
James Conrad.
Yeah, like
I didn't even notice that the first time I read it. I just kind of breezed right
dang,
over
man.
it.
I didn't know he's 31.
The player that he beat that day, Paul Macbeth. This is when we transitioned into like a little bit of disc
What do
craft.
they call him? Former what?
What do you do?
The sports dominant player for over a decade.
Oh, so he gets that. A little bit biased, much.
He said he was happy for Mr. I also love they keep calling him Mr. Conrad. He said he was happy for Mr. Conrad. I don't know why that's funny.
That made me laugh really hard.
But
It's like
Mr.
you're
Conrad.
reading a fairy tale.
Mr.
Yeah,
Conrad.
he said he was happy for Mr. Conrad, who he'd been competing against since they were both 15, and he series nearly weekly during their 8-month season. So this is Paul's quote on the holy shot. I was on the losing end of that shot, but I still know what it meant for the sport and for us as players. It's a chance for growth, a chance for more eyes to see our sport on a professional level.
Very big of you.
And then Mr. Macbeth's sponsor,
Mr. Macbeth.
Discraft, thanks to his star power, will help the company grow. Discraft signed to a new 10-year, $10 million contract last year, a figure designed to plant a flag in the sport where most professionals typically make roughly $20,000 a year in sponsorship and tournament winnings. As a signing bonus, Mr. Macbeth got a McLaren supercar. I mean, that's a fascinating line right after.
Yeah.
Most players making
about
20,000.
$20,000, and he also has a signing bonus. Got the Batmobile.
Players typically make $20,000. And as a signing bonus, Mr. Macbeth got a McLaren.
Bro,
Worth what players will
you
make
could
for
sell
20
that car
years.
and you could pay like 10 players. Yeah.
You could pay a player for 10 years by 10 and a half years. No. You could pay a player for 12 years by selling Paul's car.
Wow.
As a signing bonus, Mr. Macbeth got him a that's such a funny line.
That is
Anyways,
really funny.
so then Bob Giulio says it's the Nike strategy, Discraft's team manager said. It's sign the player and the fans will follow. And then with the pandemic hit, Discraft shifted machines that made Ultimate Disc to make one for disc golf, which that's fascinating. I didn't know, like, I guess they're just using the same machine for everything. But for some
Yeah,
reason, I
that
just
is
thought
interesting.
Ultimate would have made
I
something
guess they
else.
just use injection molding for Ultimate Disc as well.
And then, fascinating fact number
8.
Discraft
Hey.
bought an industrial recycling machine and churned up factory seconds and cast-off discs to make plastic pellets that could be mixed in with the new ones. And their chief operating officer, Mike Wagner, says you can't even tell it's in there.
What? Discraft? You're meaning to tell
You're
me that
being-
my ESP Malta
You're
has
sustainably
some-
making these
there's
things?
Pro D in that thing?
Well, I mean, I don't think they were putting Pro D in that.
No,
I think it's
that
more
makes-
like
that makes complete
It's more
sense to
like
me. Yeah,
Z's
that's
getting
fine.
churned up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something you never knew until you read this article. Well, I'd heard about it,
Yeah,
but I thought it was like EcoStar and stuff. Was
Well,
being made
here's
that
the
way.
thing that Innova. This is how the Innova plastic used to work, and maybe they in the old days, Innova EcoStar plastic was old discs that they were reusing essentially, and that's why they were recyclable. But then the demand for EcoStar became so much that they changed to buying recycled plastics. It was pre-recycled plastic, and people didn't throw EcoStar anymore because they didn't like that blend as much. So that's how that worked. I guess Discraft though they've never even advertised a recycled blend. They're just straight up throwing it in there.
Yeah, you can't even tell.
Can't even tell the difference.
They're not doing it for the press.
No,
Dude.
that's a good point.
They're doing it to stay out of the press.
Even a better point. Company has 90
Good point
employees.
number one.
Company has 90 employees, which is
the only
what we
good
had talked
point
about
so far.
previously, up from 40 before the pandemic. So that's another fascinating stat there because MVP prior to the pandemic, 20 employees. Discraft prior to the pandemic, 40 employees. So Discraft was twice the size. Post-pandemic, MVP now has 110 and Discraft has 90.
It is kind of crazy that Discraft.
I'm not saying
few employees.
I'm not saying MVP's bigger than Discraft.
Yeah, you can't really.
That's
read
not
into
what I'm
that,
saying.
because like it could be.
I'm wondering like
could be 20 guys that work like 4-hour shifts.
Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Wagner says he's tried everything from gift cards to attendance bonuses to entice workers on the factory floor. So essentially, it just sounds like Discraft wants to be bigger. They just can't get workers.
Yeah, that's what we've heard.
Discraft's upped its disc golf production 600% in the past 2 years, but it isn't accepting new retail customers or rolling out new models. Instead, it's sending longtime vendors allotment of whatever it makes, dominated by the Buzz, a 2003 design with an even distribution of weight that makes it comparatively easy to throw for new players. And then Mr. Wagner says, I want to get a handle on that 600% growth we have. You've got to have a manageable pace because a lot can go wrong. That's the article.
I like how they made the Buzz sound like
That's the Wall Street Journal.
a like beginner disc there.
Also,
easy throw driver.
Beefy.
also, quick point, if you're trying to read that, if you go to it the wrong way, it'll try to make you pay. If you go into Google for the first, and you went on you have to go to a browser you haven't used to try to look at it before, but if you search the exact title of it, or close to the title of it, you can read it for free.
Or if you change the location of your computer to Switzerland.
I don't know.
Have you heard about people doing that?
No.
There's like some things that like are a paid thing in the U.S. but are free in other countries. So people
IP it?
they just change their IP address.
Which that brings us to the
VPN.
sponsor of today's episode. I'm just kidding. No, but really
Switzerland.
though,
We need to get a
Switzerland.
VPN sponsor.
That's what I was thinking.
Those are huge.
Yeah, so
DuckDuckGo.
I had to pull up Safari on here because I looked at it on Google Chrome on my computer, so I pulled it up on this computer the same way. It was trying to make me pay, so then I looked at it on Safari free.
Wow.
Now,
Checkmate, Wall Street.
yeah, take that, Mr. Street.
Yeah.
The final thing I wanted to bring up, y'all don't even know what I'm
Leonardo
about to bring
DiCaprio.
up, but this might be your favorite
Wolf
part
of
of
Wall
all time.
Street.
This might be my favorite. What now?
I was at the gym this morning. First off, yes,
You go to the gym?
I go to the gym.
Okay.
Actually, this is the first time I went in like 2 weeks. So
Good job,
not
Hunter.
really.
I'm
Trevor
proud
was
of
there
you,
too.
man.
Trevor was there too.
Thanks,
I'm not as
man.
proud of him.
Okay. And I was scrolling on Disc Golf Reddit trying to find topics for today's podcast because I didn't think the Wall Street Journal would take as long as it did, but it did.
Some
So
workout
here we
you were
are.
doing.
You didn't have that many fascinating facts.
I didn't think we were gonna have that many fascinating facts. I did not, but I found a fascinating thread. Fascinating fact number.
Thread.
Thank you. It was on Reddit and it was called "If you met the top MPO pros off the course, what would you assume they do for a living?"
Love it.
And then
That's fun.
they listed what they think that like 20 or 30 guys do.
That's
Okay.
fun.
So how do we want to go about this?
I think that
I have the correct answers.
Yeah.
I'm using this as
Oh,
the
they're
correct
like
answers.
correct
So I think
answers.
y'all try to guess what they wrote.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
this isn't necessarily us being like, I think he would do this.
No,
but
you're
I
trying to
think
guess
people
what
would think
this
that he
person.
does this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with Ricky Wysocki.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard already.
What do you think that they do for a living if you just bumped into him at Kroger?
Ricky kind of seems like he kind of seems like
A camp counselor.
It's a good one.
okay. I think he kind of seems like he would do maintenance at like a golf course.
Maintenance at a golf course. Correct answer was Ricky Wysocki is the director of a public pool.
That's great. Okay.
I'm not gonna go through everyone because, like I said, they listed a lot
No,
of them.
just get the good ones.
But I haven't actually read through all.
No,
of
get
them.
the good
I just saw
ones.
it. So, well, we're just gonna do like the top.
Please.
Okay, Paul Macbeth. Paul Macbeth.
Definitely.
Paul Macbeth works in insurance.
Insurance.
Oh, I think that Paul Macbeth is the general manager of a car dealership.
I like that.
Trevor is closer. What they said. Regional sales director for something involving the blockchain.
I said sales thing.
All right. Next up, we have Eagle McMahon.
Oh my gosh. But see, he's very much a labeled personality. So like he's tough.
I think he works at GameStop.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would say Eagle McMahon. He organizes.
He kind of seems like a Target guy.
He
looks like
organizes
he'd work at
trail
Target.
runs.
Eagle McMahon is a brand ambassador for an organic energy drink.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of going the granola route.
Yeah.
You knew they were going to go that way.
Let's see.
He seems like he'd work at Target.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as an insult.
But like for his living, like his career though? Because like he might work at Target, but like, is that what he does? You know? You know?
He might be really passionate about Target.
You know?
I could see him in the red
Eagle
shirt.
from Target?
I could see him in the red shirt giving people advice on the Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Nico LaCastro.
Oh my gosh. A UFC fighter.
Okay. This one's spot on.
Wow. I think that he owns a like smoke shop, like with the Rasta and the everything. And,
Okay.
And maybe there's some discs up front.
Okay. No, he's a river guide.
Cloud9.
A river guide.
A river guide?
That actually seems pretty
picture.
good.
I was say picture
That's
you
actually
show
really
up to go on
good.
like a whitewater
No,
rafting
yeah.
excursion.
He
and Nico
actually-
gets in the back like
Yeah.
He
I'm
looks
not
a lot
questioning
like a
I'm
lot of the
trusting my
guys
life
that
to
work
this guy.
at the Whitewater Center, like outside Charlotte.
That's what I'm thinking.
Reminds me of that.
I'm
yeah.
trusting my life to him in the water.
Same.
I just read the one they put for Brody. Should I do it?
Oh.
I don't think
that's
I can.
funny.
Well, I mean, I could, but it's just the last line.
Is it mean?
No. Scott Stokely.
Oh man.
Retired.
He's got those knuckle tattoos, man. That just adds a whole nother layer to him. I would say I could see Scott Stokely as a golf pro, like a local golf pro.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. He's got that vibe to him.
He's got a real beach vibe to me.
Ooh.
I feel like he owns a beach shop.
Owns a beach shop.
I like
Correct
that.
answer was he is the band manager for an 80s rock group looking to make a comeback.
That's the knuckle tattoos.
That's
Dang
funny.
It.
That's funny.
You should have went with knuckle tattoos.
I just saw him holding a boogie board in my
All
head.
right, we're going to go 3
in my
more.
head, I can only see Scott Stokely.
You know what?
holding a boogie
I'm going to
board.
let y'all pick the players. We'll go 3 more players.
How do you know they're gonna be on the list?
Just pick like a top MPO guy and
Drew
probably
Gibson.
on the list. Okay,
I knew
Drew
you were gonna
Gibson.
pick Drew
The
Gibson.
answer for Drew Gibson.
All right, Drew Gibson.
The answer
Got
for
him.
Drew Gibson is he is a business exec.
Okay.
But you don't ever really know what for.
I was
I
literally
love
gonna
it.
say the same thing. I was gonna say he's the VP of a company, but like you don't know what he does at the company.
He tells you multiple times. It's
Y'all's
always very
answers are
vague.
way better than this answer. So
Okay.
we'll say y'all's are the correct answer.
All right.
But his
Good job,
answer was tattoo artist.
Yeah, no, that's not
No.
good. That's a bad one.
I think that he
That's
just
too easy.
knew Drew
That's
had
too
tattoos.
easy.
yeah,
Y'all's
that's not good.
answer is way better.
I think we know his personality.
Trevor, give me a pro.
Better.
Is Matty O on there?
Let me look.
Something down in the swamps.
Yeah.
He's
No,
like,
he's not on here.
Dang it.
He's like a
Is Big Germ on there?
Yes.
Okay.
ooh. Big Germ is he's very sociable.
He's super tall.
He is tall, yes.
That qualifies him for a lot of
He's got
jobs.
those
He could be
veneers.
Don't judge a book by his cover, though. He might be.
he could
No.
be he could be a shopper.
I was gonna say his
for-
personality might be short.
He could be a shopper for like Kroger or something to be able to get those top
I would
shelf items.
say.
He's tall.
Oh man.
Big Germ.
Big Germ.
Big Germ.
He owns an antibacterial company.
Okay, he owns antibacterial company because he's the
Big
biggest
germs.
Big germs.
Big Germ's germ remover or whatever. Dang it, man. This is
He would be good at this, I think.
I said this, but this is a really tough one.
I really feel like it'd be something in like I feel like he could be like some kind of guide or like a travel
already
travel
guessed.
assistant. I'm going travel assistant.
You already guessed.
Well, that
Here's
was a
An
your
joke.
airline pilot.
airline pilot. Big Germ, Jeremy Colling is a real estate agent.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd be really good at that.
Sure.
I feel
That's
like.
what I'm saying. He'd be a good real estate agent. All right,
I-
last one.
That's basically like anybody with a good personality. Like
I
I'd be
one
good at
time
real
had a
estate.
one-on-one conversation with Big Germ, and he made me feel like the coolest person there.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's
signed
very
my pilot once.
charismatic. Final person.
Oh, you want us to tell
yeah,
you?
last one.
You go ahead, Connor.
Just Brody us.
What? Brody?
Can you Brody us?
All right, we can go Brody Smith.
I already read it, so I can't guess.
No, he can't guess.
Well, well, then just say what you think he seems like he would do. Well, for
You
Brody
just
Smith,
guess.
It's gonna be pretty.
He's just obviously like an influencer.
Okay, influencer. The answer was youth pastor at a church plant where the sermon always includes a reference to my smoking hot wife. That was the Reddit answer.
Fits the bill.
Youth pastor at a church plant, definitely could see that.
I could see that.
Brody fits that bill well.
The answer is 100% camp counselor for Brody.
Camp counselor too.
Well,
Same
he did
vibe.
that.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
vibe.
yeah, yeah.
That's but I mean, so that guy was on the right vibe. Just had to throw a shot in there, uncalled for. But if you want to read the full list on Reddit,
that's coming after Mars Hill right there. Another podcast. It's a good podcast.
okay. If you want to,
Do we all get to do an ad read?
what?
Shut up, man. You already had your ad read.
Yeah, dude.
For what?
For
MVP or
MVP,
something.
yeah, or something.
Yeah, I'm still on the payroll.
you can check that
how
out
do
on
you think
Reddit.
you got 110 employees, man? 109, baby.
You can check that out on Reddit. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of ones obviously I didn't get to. They did like the full. I mean, honestly, I think there's like 30 some.
That's funny.
It's over on Reddit. It was one of the top threads this morning, so I'm sure it's.
Well, yeah, why have we never tried? I mean, we typically shy away from disc golf Reddit because it's a scary place, but like,
I love scrolling on it.
I think I need to make an account that's anonymous and like try and make viral disc golf threads on Reddit because I think that'd be really fun. But at the same time, I do not want to throw myself in there.
I don't know
I'll
how
get-
Reddit works.
It's just a
It's
forum.
like
it's
yeah.
a public forum. It's like you just go in there, you make a thread, people reply to it, and they upvote it or whatever. Like it's
I'm pretty
Upvote,
active
downvote.
on something called Beamer Forum
Same thing.
for BMWs.
yeah, same
There's
thing.
probably one on Reddit. You need to find you a
could
Beamer
find a
Reddit?
Reddit thread
No,
on
I'm
BMW. Like it would.
Okay.
I like it whenever you guys go through them and then you tell me about them.
Okay. Well, I'll keep doing that. It's fun. It's a good time.
It's the fun.
It's a fun. Oh, you know what we didn't do?
What?
Look at Music City Open this weekend. That is this weekend, correct?
I wish that you would do a make that call.
Nah, man.
The make that call is you have to call.
You're not the same, man. Texas
What?
changed you.
Texas changed me, dude.
I did something to my neck.
Dude.
It's not good.
All right, the Music City Open's coming up. Pretty stacked field. It looks like
Who's not there other than Paul?
Paul's not there. Eagle's not there. Drew Gibson's not there.
So who's not there other than Paul?
I don't know
Paul's
outside of
not
that. Calvin Heimberg's not there.
Okay.
Ricky is there, but I thought Ricky was taking the week off. I think he said week off in his interview.
So
So
it's just gonna
Ricky
be the Chris Dickerson
Might not
show?
be there. Chris Dickerson's my pick to win either way. It's in Tennessee.
Wait, do we have to make our picks right now?
I just pick one person.
It doesn't
Pick
matter.
your winner.
There's no. It's a silver.
This
series.
isn't. Oh,
It's a
yeah,
silver
yeah,
series.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
pick a
yeah.
winner.
I mean Dickerson.
Oh, FPO is gonna be fascinating. No Kat or Kristen or Paige.
That
Who's
doesn't sound
not- who's
fascinating.
not-
That sounds
who's
fun.
not
Evelina
there?
show.
Is Val there?
Yeah, Valerie Mandahano,
Okay, so Val will probably win.
Hannah Blomroos,
Oh,
Evelina
that would be
Salonen, Sarah
cool.
Hokum, Missy Gannon.
Val's cooking them.
I'm going Heather Young.
Why?
I'm not.
Oh, I like.
Valerie Mandahano.
Yeah,
That's just
Val-
Tennessee.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Val's-
going Dickerson and Val
I
Mandahano.
was gonna cook.
My 1-2. MPO, FPO.
Nice.
Nice.
What y'all got? What y'all got?
Same
not-
thing.
Oh, that's boring.
I'm sorry, who's not there for MPO?
Ricky. Well, Ricky's allegedly there,
Allegedly.
but I don't think he's going to be there. That's why I
Okay.
didn't pick him. If you want to pick him, there's no points on the line, so you can't pick him.
Oh man, I think if he's
If he's there, he'll probably win.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
There
that
we go.
statement.
I like the Val pick. But I think an Evelina pick also is not ridiculous.
It just depends on her putting.
Yeah.
If she can putt, she wins. Cool. I agree,
She can't.
but she can't, so she loses.
So she loses.
So it's Val.
All right, there you have it. We'll wrap up Music City. I don't know anything about the course or anything like that, so that's why we're not going to talk about it a ton more because can't really provide too much insight. But we'll talk about it a lot after it goes down. Be sure to tune in and check out all the coverage and everything. We have Music City Open this week. I think the Open at Tallahassee is next weekend, and then our first major of the year.
That is a lot to take in.
And we're probably going to do a companion stream for the first major of the year. We're not going to do a companion stream for the Duke UNC game, I don't think. Mainly because I don't think y'all want to see that side of me. I don't like it. We'll talk to you next week.